Willie D Live.
If I say, hey Willie, man, hey, I need a place to stay, and you're staying there with your family, and you say, okay, boy, sure, you can stay with me since you're having a tough time, right? And I say, oh, by the way, man, I want to use the master bedroom. Can you sleep? I'm in the basement. It's comfortable. Can you stay in the basement? I'm sleeping in the master bedroom. Is that okay? What are you gonna say?
Hey, man, can somebody go find Boyce? Because I got an intruder in this motherfucker, and I'm about to pop him up right now.
Exactly, right. So, or if I came in, I'm like, man, I don't like the furniture in here, man. We gotta get rid of this furniture. I ordered some new furniture, and I mean, it would be crazy for me to do that, right? Even though we're friends, you would say, no, Boyce, this is not your house. You're welcome here, and you can use the spare bedroom. But you can't, I'm not going to treat you like you're like your son is out there. Your son is your son. I'm not your, I'm your friend, but there's a limitation to that. That's my point, right? You would say at some point, okay, Boyce, you got to go to your own house. Where do you live, right? And I think that as black people, we are trained to be economic orphans. We don't have, we own more businesses 100 years ago than we own now. We own more land 100 years ago than we own now. Something happened in the civil rights movement where they fed us this myth of equality, where we traded in land ownership and business ownership for student loans and corporate jobs. And then what happened is we found ourselves in debt traps. We found ourselves stuck on the corporate plantation where you work 30 years at some company, you die at your desk, and then you have nothing to show for it.
What is the number one money trap that people make, that they walk into, that keeps them poor?
There's a few of them. One of them is student loans. Student loans are a massive problem in this country. It's a massive economic virus. They're never going to cure it. So student loan debt is something that keeps a lot of people from. That's what causes a lot of the more educated black people to have a negative net worth when they die. Because they never pay the student loans back. Half of all black college graduates default on the student loans. And when you default, that means you're going to have bad credit. That means you're going to be in debt for life. You can't write your student loans off in a bankruptcy. Joe Biden actually helped pass that law about 20 years ago, where they everything else you can write off, student loans you can't. So student loans are a big problem. I think a lack of financial literacy. I think I have a new book. It's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. And one of the commandments is that economic intelligence should be a rite of passage for your children, that you should train them at an early age on all the different ways to make money. See, a lot of us grow up like I did. I grew up in a household where if you talked about making money, it was get a job. That was it. That was the only move we had. So imagine being a basketball player where you've just got one move. Well, it's easy to play defense on a player that has one move. It's easy to shut that player down. So we get shut down because we got one move. The whole get a job move, or and then the only way to make more money is either get a better job, get a raise on your job, get a promotion on your job, or get a second job. That's the only thing you can do. Whereas the ways people make money, how do people get rich in America? They get rich through three major areas. Stock market participation. Every study on earth shows that people who invest in the stock market regularly have more wealth than people who do not. Real estate ownership. Owning property is the difference between poor and middle class. That's real estate ownership. The third is entrepreneurship. This is the play for the black man, in my opinion. An entrepreneur, I've seen people go from a job making $3,000, $4,000 a month to making literally $100,000 a month because they selling sea moss now, or they figured out that they could sell a hair care product or whatever. One product, literally. So if I'm talking to my kids right now, if I was 18 again, I would meet an amazing black woman, and I would say, let's have about 6 or 7 kids, because the number of kids you have can be part of your wealth if you raise them right? If you raise them to help support the family, take care of the family, right? So I say, let's have 6 or 7 kids. We're going to educate our own kids, so we're going to homeschool our kids, and we're also going to build the family business within that infrastructure.